In this video, we are going to be talking about spellbound. How do we know that the Republican Party has been cast under a spell? Remember in video 4, I talked about the demons that follow the Antichrist wherever he goes. And that demon, as I have seen in a vision, the Spirit of the Lord had showed me in a vision, the demon that stand about between 10 to 15 feet from Mr. Trump everywhere he speaks. And that demon casts spells on his audience, whoever hear his speech, whoever are under his speech and his agreement. I talked about that in video 4, so now this is video 5. So now, before we move on to another video, let's do video 5. Here's what we're going to do in video 5. We're going to be talking about spellbound. And in respect to that, you're going to understand how we're going to explain to you how do you know and how should you know that the audience, that the Trump audience has been under spell. I mean, that is if you haven't already know that or noticed that. So let's take a practical situation, for example, to show you what I'm talking about. For instance, I'm a person who works in the auto industry, right? I repair automobiles, and having repaired automobiles, I know how far we have come from where we used to be, from back in the days when vehicle used to be running without computers, when you have the ozone layer being destroyed, the atmosphere being destroyed from pollution. So the governments decide to bring in the powertrain system. And what the powertrain system is Cadillac converter in your computer, and computer driven, so that the final emission coming out of your muffler does not have so much carbon in it, and is not so poisonous or as dangerous as it used to be. Now you just imagine the amount of cars that's on the road right now, and had they not done that, had they not brought in the powertrain system, how dangerously polluted our atmosphere would be with automobiles. The reason why I mentioned that is just to have you stick a pin right there to see how important it is, the development of automobile, which is the field that I work in, that is my day job. And I want to show you something that Donald Trump had said in one of his rally. I'm going to show you how spellbound those people are. Donald Trump said in his rally, I'm going to call him the Antichrist, probably for the rest of this video, because that is what he is. The Antichrist said in his in his rally, and by me saying that, also the Antichrist, the book of Revelation talk about the Antichrist as the man of perdition, the pernicious one, the man of perdition. So the Antichrist, the man of perdition, he said at one of his rally, he said, we're gonna make cars, make automobiles as we used to make them 50 years ago. And the crowd erupted when he said that. I mean, like literally erupted when he said that. I remember they on this part about taking America back, taking us back, The Spirit of the Lord does not go backward. The Spirit of the Lord goes forward. Backward is death and destruction. So that is even the very motto. Even his very, what do you call that word that you run under? Is that his motto? Or their team that they're running under? They take America back. Even that should tell you that's a dead term. That term belongs to darkness. Bringing back people in the darkness. Because when you're in the present and you're trying to go back into the past, or however the past was, or however great you think the past was, that's the formula for death. That's death and destruction. But I'm not even gonna go too much further into that right now. So when he said that he's gonna take the auto industry back 50 years ago, you're gonna make cars like you used to make them 50 years ago. People start in the crowd start erupt, and that is one of the signs that you know that these people are under a spell, because ain't nobody in their right mind can believe that cars, automobiles are not more advanced than they used to be 50 years ago. You remember, when the last time have you ever seen a 50-year-old automobile? Look how far we've come in terms of developing cars, developing automobiles, for instance, which is one of America's most feasible industry. And yet you are cheering, you're going haywire behind a man that said he's gonna make cars as he was 50 years ago. People think that that's a good idea. Why would anybody, even a child, why would even somebody that is not educated at all, that has dropped out of high school, can understand that is not a good thing? That is not something that you are cheering for, because that is not progress. If you're taking the automobile industry 50 years back, that is not progress. That's digression. That's not progression. That's digression. And yet people cheer for that. And that is to show you how deeply. And when I say cheer, they didn't just cheered like you hear few people in the crowd cheered. They cheered like wildly. And this is because of the spell that they are under. The spell doesn't allow you time to think, and to think that what a person is saying is a good idea or is not a good idea. It doesn't allow you to judge or to make any sane judgment. You're just going with. It's just anything this person say, any crazy thing, any madness that this person say, that you're going with once you are under that spell. And you will not, nobody will be able to argue you out of it, because you're locked inside of that. Once you come under agreement with that spirit, you're locked inside of that madness. So the whole idea of judging things has now become redundant, because you no longer do that once you're spellbound. When you talk about women in America, and he right there on the stage, let's say for instance, as speaking to an evangelical crowd in West Palm Beach, he said to them that vote for me because you will no longer need to vote again. We will fix it so you don't have to vote again. Now that could never mean anything different than we already know it means, because we know that this is a totalitarian government, an autocratic government, and that he will never get out of power until he's dead. We out here who have sense and who maintain our judgment, our ability to think, we still know that, right? And you would think that him saying that so plainly, that the so-called evangelical crowd that comes around him while he was in West Palm Beach, whatever they were doing there, you would think that they would have the sense, especially if they call themselves people of God. You would think that they would have the sense to judge that this is not something that you cheer for. But then that crowd also went haywire because they are spellbound. And you could think of many other instances, many other things that was so clearly said, clearly stated and clearly made, that they should have exercised judgment over and should have not have applauded for. But they applauded on that because they are spellbound. And I had begun to even mention and to tell you how that happened already from within the previous video. So we're not going to go backwards in this. We're going to go forward. So those are the people, those are spellbound, and they are spellbound because the demon that stand in front of him, that silver-looking demon that we mentioned about, is the spirit of the pale horse. It stand in front of him, and he casts the spell, his spells of deception on the people, his audience, through his bearer, which is the Antichrist, as we know it to be. I just want to keep this video at spellbound. I do not want to go into another subject, but we have so many videos to make here. So many videos. Look for a link in this video, and the link will take you over to our website, where you will see all the videos on there, because you will not be able to search videos from this website, which is probably at YouTube.com. If you're at YouTube, you won't be able to find the rest of the videos here. I don't know what the reason why. Also, you won't be able to comment here, but we have our own platform. You know how happy I am that we have our own platform. Thank God for that. So we don't, even if YouTube doesn't hear our videos, we still gonna make them anyway, and every last one of them is going to play. So we're not worried about what, because God has prepared his own things. The devil has his things. God has created his things for his purpose. So we are independent network. The localteller.com, we are an independent network. We do not need YouTube in order to record our video or hear our video, or in order to do nothing at all, because we have our own platform. The only reason why we are out here is to gain subscription so that people on YouTube can be notified about what we're doing, and excuse me, and can come over and join us and interact with us there. Our family, the family of truth. Thanks a lot. Look for a link in this video. My name is Delroy Young, and I guess our next video is gonna be video number 6. Not sure what we're gonna be talking about yet because we have so many things to talk about, so many things to say right now.